going down, I'ma drown in some poison, abusing my limit. I think that I'm feeling the vibe. I see the love in her eyes. I see the feeling of freedom is granted as soon as
rapper Kendrick Lamar surprised fans earlier this month when he dropped Untitled, Unmastered, a previously unannounced album. He simply tweeted a link to the iTunes store, and he is not the first to forego the traditional marketing hype. Here to discuss the changing face of music marketing is musicologist Michael Williams, and he did just that, just bypassed a whole bunch of marketing people.
It's all, like Living Color said, you got to get past the middleman, because the middleman gets paid. So if you want to get paid, you really have to become a business person yourself. And every artist now is a business person, from Jay-Z to Beyonce, who Beyonce is sort of the gold standard for doing this. They call them pop-up albums, but we live in a pop-up universe and a pop-up world. The first time I ever heard about anything like this, there were two bands in particular. The Grateful Dead, of course, they super served their audience in 1971. You could, from 1971 on, you could record their shows and trade them. So the Grateful Dead, every time they played a marketplace, had pop-up records that week after for their community of fans, and they were a movable feast. The second time I heard about it, of course, was a very good friend of mine, the late great Jackie Matu, who lived here in Canada and inspired Paul Schaefer. Jackie Matu would travel with his stampers of his latest record, so he'd go to Miami, stay there for a month, and to pay the hotel bill, he would take his stampers out to a pressing plant and drop a new record in Miami.
And bill paid.
Yeah, bill paid, and then move on, of course. Kendrick Lamar, after his amazing performance at the Grammys, where he actually opened up with a track off of Untitled, Unmastered, which was brilliant, with a great band, dancers, and full performance. After that, of course, he could do no wrong. And when you're an artist, you always overcut. Like for Thriller, they might have started off with like 3,000 tracks to get down to about 20 and then down to 12 or whatever the final count was. Prince notoriously overcuts. He's always wanted to do pop-up records because he wanted to release records on his own time, you know, when he felt he should. Like now he has the Hit and Run Volume 1, Hit and Run Volume 2.
But Michael, if you're Prince and you're Beyonce or you're Drake or Kendrick Lamar and you have that status already, is it easier to do? What about the up-and-coming artists?
It's yes, for the up-and-coming artists, you're super servicing your fans, your community first, and then it goes out from there. So if your community wants to hear from you, absolutely. With social media, you can do this now. I mean,
it's changed the game, hasn't it?
The Weeknd used to tour just on Facebook and sell out North America just about, you know? So with social media, it has changed the game. But it's an old game with a new face, the new face being the new media.
Tell us about the record company then. And what happens?
What record company?
There
are no record companies left.
A&R, all of that stuff.
No. The Weeknd didn't come about because he was A&R'd by someone here in Canada. The Weeknd basically A&R'd himself, worked with the producer Doc on his first couple of projects, brilliant producer, and the dynamic between them, they almost didn't need a record company. So that's where we're at now. You don't want a record company really to come in and get in your business, because a record company really is just a credit card. All that champagne and everything you see in the videos, it's all being paid for by the artist at the end of the day. So the artist really has to step up his game and become a business person.
So gone are the days when a single drops and then you have all the pomp and circumstance around that single and you slowly release. It's just drop it off. Drop
it off to your audience. You can do that now because of social media. I've got a project I'm working on. We're trying to figure out how we're going to release to various communities around the world. And you can do that with the digital aggregators like Believe Digital. You can record your record at 6 o'clock in the morning and it can be released in China by the afternoon from your laptop in your house.
And bottom line is, it gives artists more power.
More power, more freedom, more control. Kendrick Lamar had that control. He had a whole bunch of tracks from To Pimp a Butterfly that he loved, and songs are like your children, so you're going to decide which ones I release now, which ones I don't. And of course, after the Grammys, winning 5 Grammys, being nominated for 11, the year before being nominated for a host of Grammys as well, he could do no wrong. So he probably planned to do this. It seems like it's a pop-up record, but there's a lot more planning that actually goes into releasing something. Digitally, it's very easy. On vinyl, it's a little bit more difficult. But of course, you've got great examples: David Bowie, Beyonce, Drake, and of course, Kendrick Lamar, along with Drake and Future, reached the #1 position in Billboard with 2 records, not just 1, but 2 records in the last 12 months.
Yeah, so this is no aberration.
No, this is him super serving. Yeah, the future is now, and he's super serving his fans. And we do live in a pop-up world. Prince is doing a pop-up tour right now, a solo tour called you know, him and his piano.
Yeah, and where Prince is, people swarm.
Yeah, oh, exactly. But he's done it in Europe, he's done it down under, and he's notorious. Remember last year when he said when Donna Grantis, his guitar player from Toronto, said she was coming home, and there was a lineup around this time of year in the rain at Massey Hall for at least a couple days for people looking for him. So that's the power of social media, and it works very well for the artist. Frequency works extremely well. You don't have to be excellent, but if you do it a lot, and people hear about it, it's that old top 40 thing. If you hear it 40 times, it'll become part of you.
So great to have you here. Thank you so much.
Great to be here with you. Good morning.